eggs, and he'll have like avocado toast, or he'll have oatmeal.
Whoa.
And then sometimes the girls will have bananas in their oatmeal, just depends. And then for lunch, usually like whatever leftovers we have in, if I had to like make something, usually it's going to be like I always give them some sort of like grain. I usually do like a good carb. And then I give them like usually we have some sort of protein left over from dinner, so like chicken or ground beef. We do a lot of venison.
Cool.
And then they also have they'll all have milk with lunch. And then Noel has in the morning. Noel has like a sippy cup of milk. The girls usually are okay with like a little bit of milk or water or something like that. But lunch typically is leftovers. So for dinner, usually what we'll have is we usually do a lean meat. And then we do quinoa or brown rice. We'll do a good fat, so we'll do avocado. Or I always cook with olive oil, so if we don't do something like that, then I count that. And then I try to fill everybody's plate with like half their plate's vegetables.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's really good.
We always have... I usually have like the least amount of protein, and then the girls will have like their protein portion and Noel's protein portion are bigger than usually mine are, and then Sean will double down. So he usually has twice the amount of protein that we and yeah, that's kind of, I feel like that's like a pretty like typical day. And so then like the next day for lunch we would have like I'm trying to think what we had last night. So last night I made burgers, and I did 50% ground beef and 50% venison.
Ooh.
I put cheese on all the kids and Sean's. I don't do cheese. And then we did zucchini, just like sauteed zucchini, and then brown rice and quinoa.
Yum.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We just have like leftovers I usually make enough so we have something for lunch the next day.
Cool. That sounds really good. Yeah. So, you're doing the 30-day like Arbonne challenge right now, right? They're like the reset or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Currently,
okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm doing it right now, but like I stick to that like for.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You kind of cut out for a second.
Oh, that's okay. So I like for that like platform, I just do our dinners like that all the time.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
And that is half your plate is a green vegetable, a quarter is a lean meat, and then an eighth is a good fat and a good carb. Proportions are different for my kids and my husband than myself, but that's generally what I stick to. My kids usually will have seconds, like they usually eat everything, and then they have seconds of whatever they like, you know?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So are you concerned about processed foods, sodium, sugar, and like organic and GMO when it comes to nutrition?
So I'm kind of, I'm slightly conflicted on some of those things. So, I'll start with like GMO and, like conventional versus like organic farm. Persuade to buy organic. Like I'll kind of buy whatever's convenient. I don't have any qualms buying anything conventionally raised or farmed. Just you know, the whole thing with organics is that organic food still has they still use pesticides. They still use some form of that, and so I haven't been given any information that is like a clear cut that one's better than the other one. Yeah. And as far as nutrition goes, they're the same. Yeah. You know, they're the same thing, and so that's not something I'm really swayed by. We've always had some sort of genetically modified something or other. Like, I don't feel like this is like a new thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I will So we do a tally box, which is a farm out of Aurora Grande.
Oh yeah.
So we do that weekly, and I love that because and it's not, and they're actually, I think they're all organic, but I don't care. I just like that they're local.
Yeah, that's like really important. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's way more important. I'd rather stuff that, you know, we grow in our garden, you know, eat the, you know, the steer that we butcher every year here, things like that nature. So that's what's important to me. As you know, I'd rather purchase locally, and the tally box is awesome because we're in Creston, and so we're, you know, a good 20-30 minutes out of town, and so it's not like, oh, pack up all three of my kids to go do something that, you know, I need convenient than that. And tally box is super convenient because they deliver at Farm Supply, and my father-in-law, who lives on the same ranch as us, works there. So he picks it up for me.
That's so handy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's convenient.
That's really cool.
And then processed foods we don't eat.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it.
The closest thing we come to like processed foods is like Costco does like the rice packs and the quinoa packs or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Heat up, and we honestly kind of just save those for like nights when we're really running behind, like because it's no big deal to put a pot of rice on the stove. So
yeah, exactly.
We really like to have, and it's so great if I need to have a meal on the table in 15 minutes. That's awesome. And I will say, like, if I'm eating really, really clean and I have something like that, like, body feels as opposed to just like having brown rice off the stovetop. So and I think like we'll do lunch meat every once in a while, but honestly like the kids don't ask for it, so we don't do a whole lot of that, but we will every once in a while. I'm trying to think what else like the most processed foods that we eat. I mean, I really think besides like condiments and stuff like that, like there's much, and like I bake a lot too, so like I make our own bread. And sugar content, I mean, and sugar and sodium content, like we used to do, like I love doing like the orange chicken from Trader Joe's, but we just don't do it anymore because I can make it and it doesn't have, you know, as high of a sugar and sodium content.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's much better for you when you make it yourself.
Yeah, so we really steer away from those things because of that. And even I got like the kids aren't feeling that well, and so I picked up like the all fruit popsicles from Trader Joe's. I was like, oh, it sounds so good. I might have one, and I flip it over, and it's like 30 grams of sugar in a popsicle.
Whoa. Yeah, it's a lot.
How much you actually do like have to read labels, and like so I feel like I like won't read a label like one time, and then I come home and it's like I did that with Trader Joe's like it was a while ago, but their ground beef or something like that was from Australia?
Oh, it was weird.
Well, I think Australia has like a pretty big like cattle operation. Is it Australia? Or New Zealand or something like that? Oh,
yeah, it's New Zealand, I think. Yeah, super weird.
I was just like, what in the hell? So that was really weird. Yeah. And I know that there's local like meat boxes you can get now too, which I think is cool. So I think they're a little bit pricey, but
that happens when you like eat local. It's like a little more expensive, but it's like overall better, but it's like a hard trade-off.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I think that covers everything in that.
And then one of my last questions is, did you breastfeed or formula feed or mix, and why?
Okay, so I breastfed with Ruby until she was I want to say like 19 or 20 months, and because
awesome.
She had I don't think I would have done it that long, but she had a
Sorry, can you repeat that? That cut out again. Sorry.
Okay. Ruby had a gag reflex until she was 12 months old. And so she didn't start, like, she'd, like, dabble in food, but she would not eat, like, she didn't eat meals until after, like, she was 12 months old, which is, like, really cool. So, with Willa, I breastfed her until she was 9 months old, because Willa was 6 months old. I was pregnant with Noel.
Oh, right.
I had some issues with keeping my supply up, and so we switched her to formula for milk at 12 months.
Okay.
And then Noel, he pretty much weaned himself at 12 months.
Oh, that's really awesome. You're doing a lot better than the majority of American women. Like, that's awesome.
It's odd. Like, it's a weird, I don't know. It's like weird talking to other people about, I don't know. And like healthy and like realizing like what they are eating. Mm-hmm. It is like pretty insane. And then even just like, you know, summertime's here and it's like going to barbecues and like people give like their kids sodas and then wonder why they're running around like crazy people. But it is pretty bizarre. I don't know. And then Sean the other day, he was like, I can't remember if it was like Carl's Jr. or McDonald's or some, like, oh, we're doing all food draw for people. And Sean was like, you'd be surprised. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Jeez. There's just non-food out there that people are consuming. And, you know, I don't know if it's a lack of education or indifference or it's just what's available.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, we're in such a food crisis. It's insane because we are eating like the most amount of food as Americans that has the least amount of nutrition. Yeah. And it's just garbage.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So, interesting.
Yeah. So is there anything like nutrition-wise that you wish you knew more as a parent? I mean, I know you're really informed, but is there like anything you wish you were more informed about?
So it was interesting because Noel wasn't like let him so what happened was we kind of started eating a little bit leaner, I would say, and then he'd eat so much food that at night that he was uncomfortable to the point where he wouldn't go to bed. And he would like cry and he's like super easygoing. And so I just like portioned out his food and like gave him as much food as like the girls, thinking that was fine. Like, 'cause he's a little baby and they're, you know, 3 times the size of him. And so I was just doing that for all his meals. And my pediatrician was just like, she's like, well, and so I just let him free reign and eat as much as he wanted to. And we didn't have that issue with him, like, getting, like, overly full. Mm-hmm. But he literally will, like, sit back. He'll be so full and he'll be tired because it's, like, almost bedtime. And he'll be so full and he'll, like, lean back in his high chair and just, like, very slowly and so gluttonously just, like, take food and just keep out. Like, it's so big.
That's so funny.
Within a month, he gained like a pound and grew like an inch and a quarter, which is like crazy.
Yeah, that's so quick.
So it was interesting, and I was not informed. Like, I had no idea that like males would, like, as adults, but as